My next patron question comes courtesy of Benjamin, who wants to know my stance on films aimed at a specific religious market. What are your thoughts on Christian movies? When people think of Christian movies, what they tend to recall is the modern trend that has popped up, with production companies making films specifically catered to religious viewers. However, Christian films have actually been popular and widely viewed since the medium first began telling narrative stories. Quite a number of filmmakers, including Thomas Edison, filmed one-reel passion plays that proved popular with audiences during the early silent era. Cecil B. DeMille also made a name for himself with his epics based on biblical stories, and these were also successful. Hollywood has produced a number of Christian films over the decades, some of which are regarded as classics. Ben-Hur is probably the biggest one, with Jesus playing a pivotal role in the story as we see him crossing paths with Ben-Hur. Another important movie in film history is The Robe. The first movie released in CinemaScope, it depicted the crucifixion as shown through the point of view of the Roman military. And it was not just these gigantic, big-budget epics. The 1940s saw Hollywood studios producing star-driven crowd-pleasers focused on priests and nuns and how they're shaped by their religion. Going My Way, starring Bing Crosby, won the Oscar for Best Picture, and was followed by the sequel, The Bells of St. Mary's. The Bishop's Wife, with Cary Grant and David Niven, is about an angel who is tasked with helping a bishop. Regardless of one's religion, I think these are all well-crafted films with impressive production values and strong directing and writing. Throughout the years, books with Christian themes and messages have been adapted for the screen, some helmed by major directors and given significant budgets. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was able to keep some of C.S. Lewis's religious inspirations intact, most notably with the resurrection of Aslan. The film made for an entertaining fantasy film that found appeal with both Christian and secular audiences and was a major hit for Disney. Martin Scorsese recently directed Silence, centered on two Jesuit priests who go on a mission to Japan and they encounter persecution for their beliefs. We see how their faith is tested, but one of them remains strong. You also had the recent Netflix movie The Two Popes, which I thought did a great job of showing how even people who share the same religion can have certain ideologies that differ. Now, beyond the Hollywood studios, there's also the Christian film industry, which has become a big deal in recent years. Pureflix is probably the most famous company that does this, although I admit I've not delved too much into their productions. I did watch the adaptation of Little Women they produced in 2018, but it was surprisingly light in Christian imagery and themes. I did see the volleyball movie The Miracle Season, although its religious themes were more about the importance of a community coming together. I have to admit I've not seen the more infamous productions like God's Not Dead and Unplanned, so I can't offer an opinion on them. Due to the success of recent Christian films, we have even seen big Hollywood studios join in. Sony Pictures has their own religious films label called Affirm Films. Affirm even teamed up with their Sony Pictures animation unit to produce The Star, set during the birth of Jesus. I actually found it to be a rather respectful take on the nativity story, albeit with talking animals thrown into the mix. Lionsgate also recently signed a deal to produce religious films, with the plan being to make them accessible to more than just the devout crowd. And even 20th Century Fox entered the fray with last year's Breakthrough, which ended up becoming the first Fox movie distributed by Disney following their merger, interestingly enough. My stance on people's faith is that if the ideas they're projecting are not harmful and they're actually using their religion to be a better person, I think they should believe in whatever higher power they wish. It's understandable why these Christian movies do well with certain denominations, as people want to see movie characters who share their beliefs, and the films provide a certain level of comfort. Although the filmmaking aspect is obviously most important too. Anyway, I tried to answer the question as best as I could, and I hope it was satisfying. Thank you for asking it, Benjamin.